All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a fascinating psychological take on finding love. And it kicks off with some pretty controversial advice.
Okay, I know, that sounds absolutely nuts, right? But the idea here is that our brain's instincts for attraction, they aren't always as smart as we think. I mean, think about it like junk food. We all know our brains can trick us into craving things that are terrible for us. So why do we automatically assume it's a genius matchmaker when it comes to love?
So to really wrap our heads around why this radical idea might actually have a point, we need to pull back the curtain on a secret process that's running in the background of our minds all the time.
So here's the deal. Our minds absolutely hate feeling conflicted. You know that feeling? That internal tug-of-war where you want something but you're also scared of it? Yeah, your brain sees that as a major problem that it needs to solve, like right now, so it can just move on.
And what's so fascinating is how this kicks off a chain reaction. To avoid that uncomfortable feeling, your mind builds these, let's call them walls, around a part of itself. But all that trapped energy, the insecurity, the guilt, whatever it is, it doesn't just poof disappear. It has to find an escape route.
And that escape route has a name. It's a really powerful psychological tool called projection. So let's take a look at how this one hidden mechanism starts to totally shape our romantic lives. Basically, what this means is we take all the parts of ourselves that we've walled off, the stuff we don't like, and we unconsciously just stick them onto somebody else. It's our mind's clever way of dealing with that uncomfortable energy without us having to actually face it.
Think of it like this. For projection to really work, your mind has to find what psychologists call an appropriate vessel, someone who seems like a good fit to carry that energy for you. The perfect example? The movie Mean Girls. You've got a group of girls who are secretly insecure, and they project all their own fears of being ugly onto one friend, labeling her the ugly one. She becomes their vessel.
But what happens if that friend suddenly gets a glow-up? Well, now she's not an appropriate vessel anymore, is she? This is when the group might start to sabotage her. They'll do anything to force her back into that ugly role so that they don't have to deal with their own walled-off insecurities.
That whole Mean Girls thing is a brilliant example of how this works in groups, but guess what? It works the exact same way in our romantic attractions. Let's dig into a few case studies that might feel, well, a little too familiar.
Okay, first up, the classic nice guy. Consciously, this person sees himself as good, kind, you know the drill. But we all have what's called a shadow self. All the parts of us we'd rather not admit are there. For the nice guy, his shadow is full of his own manipulative, resentful, and nasty tendencies, and he has walled that stuff off completely. So, he finds himself drawn to someone who will never love him back. Why? Because she is the perfect person to blame. She becomes the ideal vessel for him to project all of that repressed resentment and nastiness onto. He gets to keep feeling like the good guy while she carries all his bad guy energy. Next up, we have the fixer. On the surface, this person is the definition of capable. They're always the ones swooping in to save the day. But this entire identity is really just a defense mechanism, a shield against a deep, walled-off feeling that they're the one who's actually broken.
You see, their sense of self-worth comes from helping someone else. But here's the twist. If their partner actually starts to get better, the whole dynamic just collapses. The vessel isn't broken anymore, so the fixer might actually sabotage their progress or pull away, because they can no longer keep their own feelings of brokenness locked away.
And look, this isn't just some fringe theory. The source material points out that for a huge chunk of people, we're talking 30 to 40%, who feel stuck in these endless cycles of bad relationships, projection is a massive part of the problem.
Okay, for our last example, let's look at a more extreme case, the incel. This is a person who often feels hopelessly unattractive and is drawn to a seemingly perfect, completely unattainable ideal, like a supermodel, while seeing themselves as the complete opposite.
So you have to ask yourself, if their entire identity is built around being hopeless, what is the thing they're actually defending against? What is that hidden quality inside them that they're projecting onto this perfect, unattainable person?
Believe it or not, it's hope. Sounds strange, doesn't it? But they are so defended against the potential pain and the sheer effort that comes with having hope that they just project it onto someone else entirely. By chasing an impossible target, they guarantee failure, which just proves their story that they're hopeless. It's a defense, because truly hoping is scary. It takes work, and it opens you up to getting really, really hurt.
So, if any of these patterns are starting to sound a little familiar, the billion-dollar question is,
How do you break the cycle? Well, the source material lays out a two-step process to move away from this kind of attraction and towards something real. Step 1, you have to start questioning that intense initial spark. Don't just follow it blindly. All the research shows that what we're first attracted to often has zero to do with what makes us happy in the long run. And step 2, you begin the tough but super rewarding work of shadow integration. That just means you start looking for those very qualities you're drawn to in others, and you find them inside yourself.
Because when we stop needing other people to be a vessel for our own disowned parts, we finally free ourselves up. We can actually see and love a partner for who they truly are, not for the role we need them to play in our own internal drama.
And that's really the crucial question to leave you with. Are you actually in love with them? Or are you in love with the missing piece of yourself? According to this theory, understanding that difference, that's the real key to breaking the cycle and finding a connection that's actually authentic.